tell you guys. Oh, this is crazy because keep getting phone calls, keep getting emails, and I can't seem to get my breakfast going. And it's so disappointing for me because I am on schedule kind of, and I am definitely behind schedule now. But that's okay. I got to do my smoothies, and I would do them. I was just gonna do it off camera, but I know how important it is to people. They just really they find it very helpful. So today I did a video before about increasing libido. A lot of people have questions about that, but right now, this actually has a lot to do with it. I'll show you the ingredients, but first, you never want any nutritional deficiencies. This is what I use to overcome nutritional deficiencies. The Purium powder is just so amazing. I've tried so many powders, and I've also seen the lab tests of a lot of them. And this one's extremely impressive to me, and that's the reason that I share with you guys, because it's something that I actually myself use. And well, I'm not gonna throw any YouTubers under the bus, but there are, as you can imagine, a lot of YouTubers that, they just talk about products they don't even really use. I get it. I've been contacted by a lot of companies to promote their products, and they offer me money, and I'm just like, no. And maybe I'm a fool for turning down money, but actually, I probably am. But you know what? I just always wanted to keep my channel where I only share with you guys what I actually do and what I've seen work. Because I've tried, let me tell you something, I've tried so many things in the past that basically did not really work that well. And I just felt like it was a waste of money. Some of them, in my personal opinion, are even actually toxic. That's the thing I've learned about a lot of the health industry. I don't trust a lot of the products out there, especially hydrogen products. Unfortunately, there's so many that I don't trust because of the data. Anyway, raw cacao here. Putting this in the smoothie. Apparently some people are just popping in the channel and then leaving. I'm always confused about that. One of these days I'll have to ask somebody what that's all about. Or maybe it's just an algorithm thing, or maybe it's a computer glitch. But this is what I'm doing. You have to overcome nutritional deficiencies, especially for any real medical, quote unquote, issue, or just to be in optimal health. But also, if people are trying to improve their libido, you need proper blood flow is what you really need for that. And I already hydrated big time on hydrogen water. That's the very first thing I do in the morning. That's part of my protocol. Do it every morning. And you know what? It's so easy. You just drink water in the morning. How hard is that, right? Now, granted, you guys I'm sure know by watching my channel, I don't just drink any ordinary water. It's got to be the cleanest water, because I believe that there's stuff in our water that actually affects our libido, our hormones, and also filled with hydrogen, because hydrogen is kind of the powerhouse, and you ain't going very far, in my opinion, without it. I mean, I did a lot of things for my health, but honestly, here's my natto package. But here's the actual natto. I guess I'll put that over there for later, because that's part of the protocol too. You don't have to do everything that I do, but I will tell you that one thing enhances the other. They all perpetuate each other, and it becomes quite powerful. So, okay, let's just go ahead and make my smoothie. If you guys have questions as we go, feel free to ask, because this is a good time for me to answer questions. It's easier than calling everybody. But then again, there's only a few people in here. So usually they come in later. Okay, later gator. I had a problem with trying to go live a second ago. So that might be why some of the people were trying to enter, and then I had to start over. So I always start with my powders first, because all these foods that I'm putting in here, even these greens, everything's deficient. Deficient in minerals, deficient in nutrients. It doesn't matter what it pretty much is. Especially vegetable related, the soil, what they've done to the soil. It's sad. It's the world we live in, so we got to do everything we can. Yeah, if it wasn't for the depletion of soils and minerals and all that, I probably wouldn't even have to add the powders. I probably wouldn't have to even add the minerals, but I do have to add them because we're definitely deficient. But we're talking about food that I don't think the world's seen in, well, I think it's been an extremely long time, and I don't mean hundreds of years. It's just been an extremely long time, probably since we've had anything real good. Okay, this is also going to kind of be an anti-parasitic smoothie. And I say anti-parasitic, I'm going to add the anti-parasitic ingredient right now. These are papaya seeds. I am not going to add that many of them, probably about a tablespoon, because they're very powerful. And one thing you'll learn about watching my channel, really good for the libido too, is get those parasites out of you. If you keep these bugs in you, robbing you of nutrients, it's no good. Your blood being too thick too is not very good. So a lot of the stuff that I do keeps the blood real clean. Hydration with the hydrogen keeps the blood moving. If you don't believe me, go ahead and watch my video 68. I remember man, it gets very exhausting trying to convince everybody because I've had doctors contact me. I was just on a phone call with another gentleman because they doubt certain things. And then I always go and I prove it to them. But after years of proving it, I just got tired. I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to do my videos, but people continue. And one of the things was the way that the blood moves. It's a crucial part to your health, crucial part definitely to the libido, but just crucial part to overall health. It's all linked, guys. It's all connected. That's why my protocols, I do have different protocols depending on what people are going through, but for the most part, there's a lot of similarities like clean water, clean hydrogen. I mean, all those are kind of foundational, in my opinion. I just put in turmeric, anti-cancerous. No medical claim there. I'm not making any medical claim or even giving you any medical advice. You guys go talk to your physicians about any issues you might have. Though I will tell you, I worked in the medical field for 2 decades or more, and I know exactly what they tell people there pretty much. And I know the little secrets, behind the door secrets, what doctors say behind hidden doors, and also how they live their lives. And it's kind of surprising, to be honest, but I felt very grateful that I was able to work in the field and learn the things that I do. There's so many shenanigans in this world, and I've been fortunate enough to see a lot of them, which is the reason that I was able to figure out. It's part of the reason that I was able to figure out everything that I really figured out for myself, and that's why. That's why I share these videos, really, to show you guys. But the truth is, it's amazing how I'm pretty shocked at the small followings that I have especially after all these years. I really thought it was going to be much bigger because I wanted this information out to the world so people could get healthy, people would know what to do, what not to do. But there's so much bickering out there about the right way to do things, some of which I laugh about. When I say I laugh about it, some of the information is so off, like really off. And I know people think that they know certain things, and that's why I'm always up for, like, you know what, I'm not trying to be arrogant at all. I'm just saying, you know what, it just gets so exhausting. I'm like, why don't we just prove it? Like, we'll just do a simple blood test. Let's see whose blood looks better. Let's check out your blood pressure, your cholesterol, your blood glucose levels, your red blood cells, your white blood cells, see if you have any nutritional deficiencies. That's actually one of the more important ones to me, is the nutritional deficiencies. It's extremely hard to not be deficient. It's going to be very important for your libido, and to not be deficient in specific nutrients. And yet, almost everybody's deficient, guys. And people still can't figure it out. And you know what? Apparently I share the info and people are still like, you know what? I don't believe it. No matter how much data you show them. So you know what I'm going to do? I think I'm just going to make my smoothie. Probably should just enjoy my morning after all these calls. It's a Saturday. I was like, you know what? Just enjoy my morning, because I don't know how many people are really listening that closely. Some people just like the stories, which is cool. So I guess that's what I should start doing, right? Stop trying to make everybody happy, because you know what? You can't. Everybody has a difference of opinion. More anti-cancerous, more anti-parasitic foods, good for the vascular system, which is extremely important, again, not just for the libido, which a lot of people seem to be interested in this topic, hence the reason I already made videos about it, but doing this again. I'm going to put some hydrogen water in this sucker. If you don't have access to that, just do clean water. It's no big deal. If I have it, I'll use it. So yeah, you can't make everybody happy, unfortunately. And you can't even do it for them. I mean, sometimes I wish I could just be like, oh, I'll just do it for you. You know, like there's somebody who I know that is dealing with cancer, and I really wish I could just do it for them because they don't want to do the things that are needed to, in my opinion, help their case. But that's just because you could say it's addictions, you can say it's laziness, you could say it's a lot of things. It is what it is, though, unfortunately. It is what it is. Okay, so I know I'm missing something. Two very valuable ingredients, and they are my hydrogen raisins. So basically, I take raisins, I soak them in super clean hydrogen water. The other one is my hydrogen walnuts. Now, you don't have to do them in hydrogen water. Just clean water should be sufficient. Why? I'm telling you right now, lots of water, lots of hydration, lots of nutrients. That's the key, guys. Okay, see? And they taste sweet too. They also have boron. Boron is one of those magic ingredients for, again, libido. I've been doing more and more experimentation with that. It's been quite interesting, I gotta say. Let's see here. I'm actually going to soak more of these raisins for tomorrow, because if I don't do it right now, it's just not going to happen. So let's do this real quick, and then I'll try to see if you're commenting, I'll try to see whatever questions you might have. Like I said, this really is the best time. You have me for free. You know, you can ask me questions if they're realistic, though. Some questions are unrealistic, like, hey, I'm having this, what's causing? I got a little pain here or something. It's like, you know, I'm not going to diagnose you. I'm certainly not going to give you medical advice. But I'll see if I can answer your questions. I'll do my best. Let's see here. How much hydrogen water do we got here? And then soak them in there for tomorrow. Put a top on it. Put it in the fridge. And that will be ready tomorrow. It really soaks up the water. These raisins are all plumped. Okay, let's see here. Do you eat tomatoes? Not really. I just don't feel very good when I eat them. I just don't like them. Have you tried Athletic Greens organic powder? Your thoughts about it? Oh boy, here we go. I'm just gonna look. Here's the problem. I've tried a lot of different powders, and that specific brand I haven't. But usually, what I do before I even try powder is look at the ingredients. So I would have to look at the ingredients. I'm just gonna guess. You know, even when they have decent ingredients, then you have to go into lab tests and see what kind of contaminants they have, because even some of my favorite powders had, residues of glyphosate, which I understand. It's hard to, even with an organic product, it's hard to be away from all pesticides. It's almost borderline impossible. Wow, I got plenty of walnuts today. Those are anti-cancerous too, according to research studies. You know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to save these for tomorrow, or for later, because that's just going to be a little more than I expected. And so I recommend what I recommend for a reason, and I use what I use for a reason. And believe me when I tell you, I am extremely detail-oriented with my research. By the way, not though. In fact, I'm so detail-oriented that nobody else is noticing. There's so many other people out there, whether it's Dr. Mercola, because people keep writing about him. I mean, the stuff he recommends, I'll never take. I mean, I don't know if he's even looked at the lab report on this stuff. And a lot of the products out there are just, I can't even believe that doctors would recommend them. I mean, this is where I realize that doctors really, and a lot of naturopaths, not to throw anybody under the bus, I'm not going to say any names. I'm just shocked at how much they don't know. They really don't know stuff. And I've known numerous people that go to a lot of naturopaths, and then they don't really get the results they're looking for. And, I know some personally and doctors, and I've just learned that, I hate to say this, but there's just a lot of things that people don't know. Let's leave it at that. And because they're not as detail oriented. The only people that I find are extremely detail-oriented for the most part. I mean, I'm generalizing here, but the Japanese are extremely detail-oriented. They found out so much stuff about hydrogen that's really impressive. There's a reason that I use a Japanese device. And it's not just a Japanese device, it's the best one in all of Japan, and there's a reason for it. But anyway, here we go. Activating the natto. You activate it by stirring it. Let's see. And so, yes, I've tried numerous different powders. You really have to watch your ingredients. Even people that I know who are really health conscious, somebody recently was like, oh, how about this powder? They're always coming up with new ones. And so I'm like, I looked at it, tried it. I definitely did not like it, yet the ingredients looked quite good, but it had some stuff in there that I didn't like. And in the end, it just wasn't good. But you really have to look at the lab tests too. The Purium powder, the reason that I use it, one, my blood looks so much better after using that stuff. So it's definitely doing its thing. But I also saw the lab test, it's super pure. I mean, I think that's the reason they call it Purium, just super clean. Yeah, I've been very impressed with that product. That's why I use it. I will probably, I mean, I'm already guessing that I probably won't be a huge fan of the product you're mentioning, but I tell you what we can do. After I'm done making this smoothie, I'll sit down, I'll put it up. Let's just look at the ingredients of it. We'll just start with that, okay? That's going to be a good idea. So we'll do that here in a second. Let's see who was asking that question. Mr. GK. And yeah, somebody was asking about tomatoes. No, I don't eat tomatoes. Like I said, I've never really cared for them much. I don't even care for tomato sauce. You know, I don't know. Just never been a huge fan of tomatoes. I like tomatillos. Tomatillos are good. They taste like cheese. It's kind of weird. So it's interesting that one thing could do so many things. Increasing your health, overcoming nutritional deficiencies, potentially helping people with their libido, but there's specific ingredients for that. Oh boy. I am down to my last beet. So let's see how that goes. Beets cause your body to produce nitric oxide. A lot of these foods have rich in antioxidants, which is really important. Fiber, crucially important. Can't emphasize enough how important fiber is. Why can't I emphasize it enough? Well, it's super good for your heart. And your heart is actually very much connected to a lot of different aspects of your life in regards to health. Obviously, you want a healthy heart. It's one of the top reasons people die, heart disease. And what a lot of people don't know is all these antioxidants and fibers, a lot of the scientific data. And remember, I go off data. I don't go off opinions. I know a lot of people have opinions, but I don't go off of those. I go off of data because otherwise it becomes extremely confusing. And then you have to do some independent thinking, which I've done, obviously, and then my own little experiments. And like I said, it's worked out better than I even expected. Way better, actually, than I ever expected. So, put a little bit more beets in here. Should probably be enough, but I like beets. I like, when they're cooked, I know people like them when they're cooked. I'm not a huge fan. I like them when they're raw. They're kind of sweet and crunchy. I'll just go with that today. Don't have much room for anything else. For the beets and whatever else. Because it looks like the smoothie's getting a little full today. Well, let's put a ripe banana. This is going to make it tasty. Hey, Northern Yeti. Hey, Agnita. Hey, guys. It's just a normal routine, Northern Yeti. Did you make yourself a smoothie today? Did you load up on hydrogen? I loaded up on hydrogen before I did the smoothie, of course. It's already coursing through my veins. Okay, let's go with some celery. Why celery? My goodness. The amount of different, I feel like every single fruit and vegetable I put in this thing has such a long list of different health benefits. And you know, when I add celery to it, I like the taste. It kind of makes it feel like you're adding a little salt and bringing out some flavors. And you know, the funny thing about celery is I never liked celery. Never liked celery as a kid. Was never a big fan. And yet, now I love it. But it's just because of the way that I'm using it that has made me grow more fond of it. A lot of fiber. If you notice, lots of water. Everything that, all these foods have large amount of water content. There's a reason for that. Phytonutrients is another one. Antioxidants is another one. You should see the research on organic vegetables too. They have higher levels of antioxidants, which I found very interesting. Glad somebody discovered that. Antiparasitic, which is kind of interesting. A lot of the foods I eat are antiparasitic anyway, which is hugely important to me. I never did finish that story, Northern Yeti, the other day. Somebody commented about that later. They're like, hey, I was waiting for the story. And next time. Sorry about that. Okay, I could have more celery, or I could go with carrots. Carrots are probably one of the most powerful foods for the price. They're extremely cheap. I mean, you can get a bag of organic carrots. I mean, I'm always looking for what I can put in my smoothie that is really healthy, but yet doesn't cost an arm and a leg. Like the one that I don't put in here regularly, which, yeah, if I was super rich, I would probably do it, is turmeric. But that would get extremely expensive. We did put it in today, though. I found it the other day at a decent price. I think it was on sale, and I was like, woo, look at this. I'm going to put turmeric in the smoothie. Today's the last day of that. You know, you gotta, howdy, Greg says, Terry, do you eat much raw honey? Absolutely, all the flipping time. I eat raw honey all the time, but I will say, you shouldn't overeat too much of it, and I don't. I have a specific amount that I use. I skip breakfast, and I'm out almost of everything. I did my hydrogen water, though. There you go. Good for you, Bretta. Yes. So, yes, I do eat raw honey. In fact, I had the bucket. I just refilled my raw honey. See, I refill my own jars. You should see this stuff. It's so magical. Look at this stuff. It's so gorgeous. Look at that. Oh, it smells so good. I'm very picky about where I get my honey from. I pretty much never get it from the stores. This is hydrogen chia seeds. Yeah, I don't pretty much get it from the stores because I've talked to numerous beekeepers and they've proven to me that even the stuff in the store that says raw, organic, unpasteurized, blah, blah, blah honey is not actually real. It's so clear as day when you know what you're looking for. And they showed me, they're like, look, you got to look at this and this and this. And I was like, what? How can they advertise that? How can they legally say that? But there's always these weird legalities. Like, even with organic food, like, well, you know, you can still spray pesticides on it. Blah, blah, blah. I've been interstate for about a week. I don't know what that means, but and without the hydrofix, and I've noticed a difference of not having hydrogen water. I miss it already. And see, you're making a very good point, Terry. I've spoken to people who sometimes get on the hydrogen. Not everybody. It always depends on the person. And some people are just more sensitive than others. And it's interesting because, and this has even happened to family members, they'll be like, oh, I don't think this hydrogen water is doing much, blah, 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 blah. And then I'm always like, just give it a little time. Well, I don't feel nothing. And it's like, look, it's not a drug. You know, it's not like coffee. You're not going to like feel it, you know, like drinking 6 beers or something. It's, you know, it's very, I will say it's very subtle, but it is happening. And the time that people notice it the most is when they don't have it. It's kind of like, I mean, kind of like a lot of things in life. Like, you know what? How often do you notice, you know, one of your specific teeth in your mouth or one of your fingers or whatever? You don't think about it, but once it's gone, all of a sudden you're like, oh my gosh, you know, or your heart's beating right now, or the fact that you're breathing and you're not even thinking about it. or that you can speak without even thinking about the words that you're going to want to say, or the fact that your ears work if you can actually hear me right now. When things are working, you don't think about it, but when that hydrogen's gone, you're definitely noticing it. And I notice it too. Not just hydrogen, but hydrogen in my clean water. When I don't have my clean water and my hydrogen, it sucks. And it's really, it sucks. And so I do everything I can to have a good routine. That's one of the reasons that you guys will find this out more later, but I'm looking to create the ultimate routine, and not the ultimate routine for anybody else, but the ultimate routine for me. Now, will I share with you guys? Well, if you want me to, but I'm looking to change my life, and I have to be literally in specific locations. Like, I'm not going to go to like New York City and expect to be a super healthy human being. Forget that. I'm not going to live in that place, I'm actually going to go the opposite. I'm going to go somewhere far away from a city, and it will be very clean and remote, and and I won't go into the details of what I'm looking for, because I actually, in some ways, I don't know if I want people to know, because then, I don't want to draw attention. All I'm trying to do with my videos is just help you guys, just so you get some better health and whatever. But what I'm trying to do for myself is a little beyond that at this point. I'm trying to do something more with my specific life. We all choose our paths, and I got a specific path that I'm choosing for myself. I don't need to convince anybody of it. Truth is, I don't believe most people would ever even understand. So it's like, I keep certain aspects to myself. But the stuff that I can share with you guys that can help you no matter where you live, then I do that. I want you guys to be healthy. I want you guys to be happy, or at least as much as possible. And that's actually why I do what I do. But clearly the channel is small, and what I was hoping would happen with it is not happening. And so, I'll probably, I don't know how much longer I'll be doing this, because as they say, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. And I think there's a lot of people out there who, yeah, they want better health, but they don't want to make the effort or have the discipline that it takes to do so. So it's, to be honest, I've gotten a little tired years and years and years of this. I've reached a point where I'm like, you know what? I'm going to invest more time now in myself. I do invest some time in myself, but believe me, I can do even more. I am disciplined. I'm probably a better word is probably, I'm just so dedicated. I'm dedicated to, I love to feel good. I mean, who doesn't want to feel good? I've been pursuing happiness for so long, since I was a child, actually. And the funny thing about that is, you might even think, what does any of this that you're doing have anything to do with happiness? Making a smoothie and drinking hydrogen water and stuff? Well, for me, it has a lot to do with it. But that's just me. I understand we all have different things. We all have different purposes in our life, different things we want to do. This is my thing. It doesn't have to be your thing, but the fact that I've learned things that can help others is a good thing. And that's what I want to do. I want to help you guys out. And then these videos will be like a library. People can just watch them and hopefully figure it out. Okay, what am I missing in this guy? We've got a few magic ingredients. I'll share the one that a lot of people seem to be interested in, which is a whole libido one. And I gotta say, the longer you do it, the more it works. It's getting a little bit unbelievable as far as how powerful it is for your health. One thing I haven't even told you guys is I've been doing some experiments on myself. And let's add one of the magic ingredients, minerals. Minerals without salt, though. That's the big thing. Or at least a very low salt content. They remove almost all the salt. It's going to be noisy when I blend it. I'm going to dump the compost. I'm going to get the jars out and add a few more magic ingredients, show you the real specific ones for the libido, and we'll see what's happening. You can hear me. I got this blend. I got to blend for a moment. Finish that up. to stop the blender periodically and let all the heavy stuff settle down there. And then chop it up again. Yeah. I guess a lot of people aren't interested in either the topic or something. Oh well, that's just what happens sometimes. But I will say, for health, we got to take self-responsibility. Pretty big deal. Okay, I cut it with a little bit of hydrogen water. Looks like everybody left. And I'm gonna put the magic ingredients in here. So here we go. Okay. Okay, shake these up. Almost done. Oh boy. Look at that. Okay, let's hope that's enough. Everybody always leaves when I blend, makes a noise, but hey, better than me chewing this because I don't think I can chew it like this stuff can. Okay, what I always do is I pour halfway, little tiny bit of hydrogen in there. All the key for me is absorbing the nutrients, not just getting them, but absorbing them. That came out pretty good today. Yep, I can taste it now. This is one of the more important ones. This is actually good for the libido too, and performance. This is good, important for men and women, and that's D3 with K2. Probably can't see the amount of drops I can put in here, so I'll just count them for you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Very little. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm just putting extra today. Normally I only do about 5 or 6, which is about 6,000 I use. This is the magic ingredient for libido, but it's not just good for libido. It's good for the muscles, the brain, ligaments, bones, sex hormones. So both for men and women, for their testosterone, their estrogen, really good proper levels, which tend to go lower as you age. Guys, I read the science on this. I am actually really surprised, and like I said, I've been putting it to the test and a little more surprised how well it's worked. And remember, it's always best from food, boron, if I put raisins in there, but also second best, ionic. Most of the stuff out there, I'm not, the way that the forms that they come in, I'm just not a fan. Sorry, guys. But this particular product, I'm a fan. That's why I'm using it. And I haven't told you guys yet. I'm not sure if I should. I've been doing this little experiment on myself, and you guys probably haven't even noticed because nobody's commented. But I've been doing that testosterone thing, which is the boron, by the way. I don't take any steroids or testosterone or anything weird like that. I've been making a few minor changes, and I was able to gain a lot of muscle mass in a very short period of time. I don't think anybody knows. I was like down to 140 something pounds, mostly because a lot of fasting. It wasn't because of an unhealthy lifestyle or anything. By the way, this is chlorophyll. The company actually sent me this one. I'm really liking it. It's like you get that from your rich greens, which I eat a lot of, but I'm enjoying that in there. And yeah, and I've gained. I went to. I'm like 160s now, which it was quite a bit. And I haven't even had to try that hard to even do it. So I know that probably a lot of bodybuilders and muscle guys would be into that kind of stuff, or athletes. But I haven't really shared all my secrets because I wanted to experiment before I spoke about them. But almost nobody's in the room right now, so probably nobody will hear it, so it's okay. I don't know what to do with this knowledge. One of these days, do something with it. Okay, the biggest thing is I just apply it to myself. That's what I do. My techniques have been stolen though in some regards, and people have used them, but there's more that I have in my little bag of tricks, as they say. Okay, hemp hearts is next. This thing is highly nutritious. Best balance of omegas. When everybody's saying, "Oh, you should get more protein," people don't realize life is about balance. It's not just about stuffing yourself with a bunch of protein. Um, if anything, it's more important than protein is just getting your proper amount of nutrients and proper amount of minerals. That's way more important than just hyper focusing on one thing like protein, because just about everything in your body is made of protein, and it's a very vague term. It's like telling everybody, "Hey, you should drink water." Well, what kind of water? You could be drinking pond water, or who knows, sewage water. Maybe that's a terrible example, but I'm just saying protein is a very vague term, and yet nobody has clarified that. All these years later, I'm surprised people are still on that. But they don't realize that the data actually shows that people who live longer consume less protein. Wrap your mind around that one. And that's because I know why it is, but I guess I'm not going to get into it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to sit here and enjoy my smoothie, my magical smoothie. So this is my last magic ingredient, is the hydrogen. I inhale the hydrogen while I drink this, and it's working great. And now let's see if we'll answer some of your questions. Now I'll say goodbye. That's delicious. Hopefully you guys can still hear me. Okay. Let's go back here. GK. Actually, let me know if you're still in the chat, GK, and if you are, I'll answer your question. If you're not, then I guess what for? Okay. Agneta says, I'm new here from Sweden. Well, welcome. Terry, howdy, Greg. Yes, I eat the raw honey. Would hydrogen help against chronic migraines and genetical high blood pressure that my friend is badly suffering from? In my opinion, yeah. I'm not giving you any medical advice or making any medical claims, but I've seen those ones, and honestly, those are kind of easy. Okay, Terry Delcos. Oh yeah, you've been away from your hydrogen water and you miss it. Totally get it. That honey looks amazing. It is, dude. Totally is. Solomon says, hello, hombre. Hidrógeno, thanks for another awesome live. I'll watch later. Need to go to work. Happy Supernato Day, King Solomon. Terry says, also, when I inhale hydrogen before I sleep, I always have crazy dreams. Oh, that's interesting. Just some of my findings so far. There's definitely a spiritual aspect to hydrogen. Helps you connect to life around you, almost like you become a magnet. Yeah, there definitely is. Why do you think you haven't become more popular? Do you do any manifesting? I think it's because I don't know how to work YouTube. I don't have a bunch of like help. A lot of these, I've had so many companies contact me, but they want to charge you for help for growing your channel. But I don't. This is all being run on a very shoestring budget. I'm not a computer guy. I still feel your channel will grow very soon. Someday, probably when I'm dead. Solomon, hey Greg, can you please show the cacao package a little closer? I'd love to see which brand you use. Doesn't matter the brand that much. I just get stuff that's organic and at a good deal. That one, the brand does. I've used numerous different brands. Agneta says you could write a book. Yeah, I know. I've heard that a million times too, and I get it, and maybe someday I will. But I spend most of my time on other things. Someday. Solomon, I share your video and your pure water information with a man who is trying to help his very sick wife. Hope he gets a Lourdes machine. Got to King Solomon. Well, Solomon, you're probably not even there. If she's that sick, you can have them contact me. I'll do what I can to help them. GK, do you eat eggs?
Almost never. I think I average about 6 eggs a year, something like that. The data's not really good on them as far as long-term consumption. But a lot of the negative effects I try to overcome with hydrogen. I meant, got to go for now. Happy day, King Solomon. No worries, Solomon. See you later. Good today. Divinely Guided says, hi, Greg. Hope you're well. Been a while since I got to chime in. Well, welcome. Okay, so GK's still here. So let's look up athletic green powder. Athletic green powder. Is it athletic green or athletic greens? It is greens. Yummy. Let's see here. Let's see. Yeah, I'm trying to find that one to see just to read the ingredients. Athletics, what is it called again? Athletic Greens Organic Powder. Ingredients. Let's look. You might have to tell me what website they're on, because there's a lot of athletic green powder apparently. Let's see here. I would also like to see a lab test, but a lot of those get fudged by certain companies. I found some companies straight up just lying about it when people at the company called me who used to work there and told me certain aspects about it. They'd been apparently lying. Let's see, where is that thing? Well, it looks like I'm having a hard time finding it, let alone all the ingredients. So, I don't know why it's that hard. It shouldn't be that hard. But, apparently it is. Somehow they don't want to tell you. Okay, well, let's see. Well, GK is not answered, so okay. Solomon Agneta says, what is Japanese natto? It's a fermented bean. You can do some research on it. It's easy to Google, tons of scientific information. Thoroughly studied. Athletics green. Let's see. Let's see here. Wonder why nobody wants to. It's interesting. They like to tell you that it's got like the nutrient part, but they're not telling you the actual ingredient part. Yeah, well, oh, here we go, let's see. Let's see here. Okay, I think I might have found it. Let's see. Wow, okay, they got a lot of ingredients. Let's see. Of course, some look good. It's funny they're combining some stuff. Looks like it's got to have caffeine in it. They're putting certain things that would have caffeine. Don't know if I want to put caffeine in my smoothie. I don't know. They put stevia. I don't like stevia. The data on stevia is actually not very good. The way that it affects the body, which I was surprised about because it's the natural leaf from a plant. Usually there's no issues. But I'm not a huge fan of that. What else? I would say that a lot of the ingredients look quite good. There's a few that I'm not a huge fan of. And when they just say other ingredients, natural flavors, that always makes me a little suspicious because I've seen some of the stuff about quote unquote natural flavors. But I mean, it looks okay though. I haven't seen the lab test as far as contaminants. But just after looking at it, I would totally go with Purium more than this. But you know, it's not the worst thing in the world. I'm sure it still has some benefits. Still good for you to some extent. But for me, it's all about the purity in the long term. So where they source their stuff seems to be extremely important. So yeah, hopefully that answers your question, Mr. G Key or GK. They don't advertise much. Yeah. Goji says, is it okay to use hydrogen water for coffee or tea? Absolutely, in my opinion. How is the water affected? It just tends to enhance things. Remember, watch video 68 and the way it moves your blood and the way it opens up ghost vessels. This is going to be a really big deal. Yeah, like I said, GK, I hope I answered your questions. Is it okay to use hydrogen with coffee or tea? Yeah, I think it'll enhance the good properties of it personally. And there you go. It looks like that's all your questions for today, guys. If that's it, I'll say goodbye. And if you have any last questions, this is your chance. Let's see. Let's see. What do you recommend instead of stevia? Just don't use any stevia. I mean, what I tend to use, I just don't use it. But if you want something sweet, raw honey. Make sure it's raw, clean, unfiltered, unpasteurized. Find a good beekeeper. I don't trust the stuff at the stores anymore. I've discovered some things and I no longer trust them. And it's really weird to say that because I just don't know how a store can put on their raw, organic, unfiltered honey when it's clearly not 100%, and it says 100% and it's not. It's clear as day that it's not. So something shenanigans are going on here. Okay. I guess we're good with that. Very cool. Okay. Any other questions? Last questions? And hopefully I answered your question, Goji. You know, if I didn't, let me know. Okay. Okay. I think that answers everybody's questions. Thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully you found it helpful. Sorry I gotta go. I'll see you guys next time. Monk fruit? Yeah, I think I'm okay with monk fruit.